Happy almost New Year.
Yeah. If I had a kazoo or one of those little whistle toys, I'd do it for you.
Oh yeah, the New Year's thing. This is my little Happy New Year devicey thing that I just rang. Ooh, it frightens the cat, so it may come in handy at some point. You look really great in your tuxedo, and
Well, thank you. This old rag
yes,
is something I threw on.
and the hat is nice, but should we leave it on during the whole show because you may get flack for that?
You know what? We'll let the chat room decide if I should
All
leave it
right,
on for the show because this is
I
a
will.
high quality $4 paper hat that is meant to be destroyed on New Year's Eve.
You need to have a cane as well, and
I know.
sing that song from the '80s. I wish I could think of it right now.
Oh, putting on the Ritz.
Put them on the Ritz. Yes, thank you.
By I think that
Right,
was
taco.
Taco. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, hey, welcome to episode 139 of Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes. I'm still in my apartment, the corporate apartment that I'm being allowed by a friend of mine to stay in temporarily. Since October 15th, I've been here. And I have the shade down because it's so bright outside that it whites out the screen and you can't see me, or I can't see me. So that's
I
why
hear
it's like,
you. I hear it's like, isn't it warm down there where you are?
yes, oh, Houston's quite warm. I mean, I'm wearing sort of a very a velvet dress that's very, it's not skimpy, but meaning I'm wearing this and I'm still warm because it was hot outside earlier today and other
Yeah.
people are freezing in winter wonderland. And here, no, not at all. Sad. That's what happens when you live in the South or live anywhere in the world when you celebrate Christmas or winter holiday or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And you see, snowmen and roaring fires and people cuddling with hot cocoa, and you're like, whoo, hot in here. Makes me jealous from back when I used to live in Michigan.
Yeah.
So this is our pre-New Year's show. We did a pre-New Year's show last year, and we made predictions.
We did.
About what could potentially happen in 2016. So we're going to go over those and see whether or not any of them came true. And I know some did. And what else are we going to do? We've got show and tell. I've got something fun to show, and so do
Yep.
you.
I got some fun stuff.
Go into chat. In fact, I'm going to go into chat right now and see what's shaking in there. Also, I want to say hello to Stock Jockey, who's a new moderator in my chat as of today. Moderators, for those who don't know, for those who just are casually watching this, are people that are in a person's chat and they're who just is sort of a defender of the realm, meaning if somebody comes in and starts using profanity or making fun of people, moderator gives them a warning and then might or might not put them in a timeout or eject them if they're being naughty, not nice.
Got it.
Thanks to Stock Jockey for doing that. What am I doing? Oh, I'm going into chat. Hey, ooh, a lot of people in there, it looks like. Hello to Arwin, who was supposed to have a hangout earlier today with Persian Scribe, and I don't think it happened, so I'm not quite sure. Stock Jockey says, thank you, Patricia. Zoe of Be Here in Love is in there. Globe Thrusters, Nathan Oakley is there. William Thompson with a smiley, cheesy face. Mrs. Jeranism, which is Missa, says nothing shaken. But guess what, Mark? It's Missa's birthday today.
Wow.
So, happy birthday to you. You live with Jaren.
Instead of living a zoo.
We all feel sorry for you. No. No. We love Jaren and we love you, Missa. So
I didn't see her birthday thing come up on maybe she doesn't have it registered in Skype.
No, because her birthday on Skype is when she signed up for Skype. I made that mistake. I got a notification. It's Mrs. birthday on Skype, and I sent happy birthday. She said, it's not my birthday. And it was figured out that sometimes if you don't set your birthday on Skype, you get a notification on the day that you started Skype. So
got it.
Tamaya says it is a pretty warm winter. Bob of Globebusters is in there. Hey, Bob. Bob was suffering from the flu, and his wife Cammie was making him homemade soup recently. So I think he's well enough to be back into chat. Martin Liedke is there. Hey, Martin. Awakened Mind. Mark Ofsky says he likes your hat. Oh, yeah, we want to know, should Mark leave the hat on during the duration?
Should Mark leave the hat on during the show?
Just say yes in chat or say no, because you know how it is in Flat Earth. If you wear a hat or a costume or a mask, even if it's for the right reason, There are those people out there that will say, making flat Earth look ridiculous. So we don't want to make flat Earth look ridiculous, but this secret show is always a fun, lighthearted look at flat Earth, more of a community thing. It's not where we're providing proofs and that sort of thing. So it's fun to wear a hat, nice to wear a hat, just like it is to wear a sequin jacket. I mean, where else are you going to wear a sequin jacket?
And it's tough you can't really use this one out of context because it says Happy New Year on it.
Exactly.
It's not like the Halloween stuff that we did. The people say, "Oh, they're insane." No, this is actually allowed on New Year's.
And we are insane. There's Jaren. Hi, Jarenism. Alejandro Rubio. Felix Siam says, take it all off, Mark.
Oh.
Hot in here. Awakened Mind says, the hats. Let's see. We've got Michael Mwangi says, keep it on, Mark. I'm sure I mispronounced the last name. Alexander Sasha Mexico Panish says to keep it on. And Jarenism says, take what off? Missa says, take it off. David Weiss says, take it off. I go by a rule in my life ever since I discovered Flat Earth. It's a what would David do rule.
Yeah.
It saved me a lot of trouble. And actually, if I would have listened to him about a few other things, my life would have been a bit smoother. So if David's saying take it off, you may want to consider it. Might want to consider.
Well, I'm going to give it a few more minutes just to let it soak in because, remember, I want to make sure it has a chance to be set up for a couple screenshots.
Let's see. Thor Forms is in the chats. Scrolling up. Oscar Patron says, what's up? Brian Burton says, hello. Hello, Fred Caldwell. Skipping by people who I've already said hello to. And I think I said hello to Andres. Let's go scroll to the bottom of the chat. And Vincent Corrado says, hey, Martin. Flat Earth 1972 says it doesn't fit. Yes, that hat fits you.
Oh, no, I've got a size 8 head. I mean, no, this thing hurts. when I take this off, there's going to be a welt on my forehead. Keep in mind, it's a paper hat. There's some flexibility.
I think it looks cute on you, but
I like it.
I like it.
Look,
too.
it cost me a whole $4.
So let's just wear it for 40% of the show then.
There you go. There you go. We got to get at least past the predictions with it.
Yeah, that's true. 5 Arts Liberalis. Gear says, say hello. Matrix Decode Ben, hello. Jay Hummer says, hello, folks. Tinfoil Hatter says, are we really sure it's flat? I ain't so sure. We need more perspective. Can't get far enough away, man. Well, one thing we do know, Tinfoil Hatter, is that it's not what we've been told. We know the water has to be contained somehow, and it won't stick to a ball. So the place where we live is not where we've been told, and we can't find curvature. So by saying flat Earth or flat Earth and other hot potatoes, it's a shortcut in a way to saying this place isn't what we've been told, and that's why we're all on this journey together. Let me see.
Oh, you know what? That just made me think. You know what I should steal? Because I was going to say, what we know, it's a different world, than what we've been told. But then again, that's going to lead into the Cosby spinoff, A Different World, with that theme. I'm stealing that theme song now. It's a different world from where you come from.
Oh, that's right.
Totally stealing that song now.
Huh. Let's see. Nexus. Can't speak. That's not good at the start of the show. Nexus Ninja. Okay, that's kind of hard to say. Nexus Ninja says hello. Jeff Frazier says, as always, y'all put on a great show. Big Man Big D says, shout me out. And I just did. And hello to anyone I've not said hello to. Vincent Corrado says, hey, Patricia and Mark, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everyone. We're not really quite there yet. This is the pre-New Year show, but in a few days. That's it. So I'm going to put this. Oh, Nathan says my mic's not plugged in. You know what? My mic may be plugged in, but because I'm in this apartment, I don't have a stable setup. But let me check and see if it is.
Go ahead. Lean in.
Yes, it is.
Are you sure it's plugged in?
Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, it's plugged in. Yep.
Yeah, it's because I have to be so far away because I'm sitting on a window ledge. This is crazy. And in front of me on 2 boxes, yes, the CIA pays for the high quality setup, is my MacBook Pro next to my microphone and stand on boxes, very wobbly. If the cats jump, it'll all fall. And that's all on a bed. So I can't get any closer or farther. So the sound isn't the best. I could lean in, but then it makes me look like I'm all hunched over. And
Yeah.
I don't want to have bad posture. Let's
When
see.
you requisition the boxes, did you ask for the ones that were like stamped on the side, top secret?
No, they just say CIA on them, just straight up.
Nobody sends the cool boxes.
All right, so what should we do? Show and tell, just a game I play when I want to say I love you. Name that tune. Martin Liedtke. Maybe you can look it up. Shall we do show and tell?
Yeah,
first?
let's do show and tell first, because that's always at the beginning of every elementary school class anyway.
And somebody put the who sang the song Show and Tell into chat. See if anybody knows. You might have to look it up. Reminds me of my old radio days. See if there's anyone in there.
All right, let me do show and tell first, because I know yours is cooler than mine.
No, I've only got one thing. So
well, I got two things. So let me do both of mine first, because seriously, yours is cooler than mine. I mean, I got some cool stuff, but it's not as cool. So first off, I want a quick thank you to anyone that ever hand writes me letters.
Oh my gosh, is that quasi-luminous?
I know. No, I don't want to make fun.
I
don't want to make fun. I think she had an accident at one point, and her handwriting is just not as good as it used.
No, I am not making fun of her or quasi-luminous, but it just looks like.
Oh no, I'll make fun of quasi-luminous.
Wait, hold it up.
Because if he was going to send me a letter, he would have written it in cutout newspaper block letters and be like, if you want to see your cat alive again, one of those things. This one's from Pam and I think it's Howard, and they sent me some chocolate, and they're from Dallas, Texas. And the reason I know that at least they're from Dallas, Texas is she wrote on the back of the envelope, P.S. my team is going to the Super Bowl. Yeah. Nice dig. Seattle's having trouble this year. They sent me some lovely Walker's shortbread cookies for Christmas.
They have butter in them. I can't eat them anymore. I've been vegan in January 1st for 4 years. But before that, I was vegetarian and I used to eat them. And I was on a trip in Scotland, and in the hotel, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. They provided them, in the little mini bar in the hotel, and I ate the whole box.
Nice. Nice. And then the other thing, so thank you guys for sending me, anyone, wants to send me fun things, I will actually do show and tell on Patricia's show. You can email me at msargent23comcast.net. And
Are you just trying to get free stuff?
Absolutely, I am. I've gotten a lot of really cool stuff over the last year and change in the mail. But
people are very nice.
But the other thing I want to show you, so go ahead, ask me what time it is.
What time is it, Mark?
It's flat Earth time. See that?
Whoa!
It is a flat Earth watch. Here, I'll show it off for the camera.
Yeah, talk while you hold it up.
It is Ted. Ted Toth sent it to me. It's from the same guys that did those stickers and what else? The bumper sticker and those things. So it's from Zazzle, but it's a AE map on top of a watch. I know the focus isn't going to probably be super good.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm getting woozy, but it's beautiful. It's a really high quality item. It seems like when it comes to flat Earth stuff, that the quality level is really going up as we've progressed in this.
Yeah, it's cool. Nice little black leather strap, and I thought I'd wear it. I'm wearing for this part of the show, but it's really cool. And I may actually have another flat Earth mixer happening in Victoria, Canada when I go back up, maybe, but I'm not going to confirm it yet until they give me a time and place. But if they do, this is going to be one of the door prizes. I almost guarantee it.
Pre-warned by Mark Sargent.
Pre-warned by, in fact, I'll probably sign the back of it.
With some
which will add all of like 25 cents to the value.
It might subtract 25 cents.
No.
That's cool. I'm going to do another mixer too, but I'm not going to do mine again till Earth Day, which is the time I did mine in Houston last year.
Well, this one's not mine. This one is somebody else is setting it up, and they wanted me to be there. So I said, all right, sure. You got the whole thing going. I absolutely will be there. So yeah, I'll be in Victoria, Canada, and I think it's going to be in January.
Sounds lovely. Sounds cool.
Well,
fun. Will there be video?
Be what?
Will there be video?
I hope so. I hope somebody will shoot something. on
Yeah.
it. And if there is, I will absolutely, again, if it happens and people want to go, don't start booking your tickets to Victoria yet, but I will let people, I don't know the venue. I don't know how many people are going to be allowed or anything like that. Or if there's a cover charge or not. I think there will be a cover charge in this one, but I will, if it happens, I will be there because I literally do not have an excuse.
Yeah, exactly. It's right there.
It's in my backyard. So
yeah. Let me think. I just had a thing I was going to ask you. Are you going to do another Seattle mixer again this coming Earth Day? Do you think?
Maybe. When? Remind me, because I am not the most environmental.
Earth Day, I'm really bad with this too. I think it's April. I can't really. April. April 11th. Just
if it's after, yeah, I think I might be up for it. Yeah.
If you do it, that would be cool, and it would be cool if I came there, inviting myself. What do you think?
Again, why not?
Yeah. Sure. Now I still do mine, but maybe on a different date. This is just us talking it out.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even thought about this yet.
No, and because when you and I met in fall, we didn't do any video.
No.
Whenever that was, maybe like late October or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that. It was before Halloween.
Yeah. But when we didn't do any video, we were keeping it on the down low anyway, but we didn't make video. And so it would be cool if I came and did that with you whenever, if you do it. And if not, we'll do it some other time. Wow, we didn't expect to talk about this, but hey, interesting. Yep. So, all right. Well, make sure you get video of the
mixer. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so your show and tell. What do you got?
Oh, I thought you had more than that.
Well, no, I only had two things. I had my gift for basically a couple cool little Christmas gifts from listeners.
Didn't bring any of that stuff, but I could go get it. But I'm just showing this, which I received. I always show things upside down. I'm like, I was showing, we're going to be reading 1984, and I held it upside down.
Nice.
I think George Bush, when he read My Pet Goat, was he not reading that book upside down to children? Somebody told me that the other day.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Right, exactly. I don't want to be like George Bush. But yes, right side up. Received this from the Houston department. It's not the DMV here. I'm not sure what it is. But anyway, it's my specialty license plate that I've been waiting on.
Cool.
I got it. So, didn't even open it yet. I had my car washed today, and I was going to put it on. Then I'm like, no, let's open it live on the air. It would be funny if it said something totally different. Concave Earth. No. It's nice. Here it is.
Wow, impressive.
And it comes from plates.com. You can get license plates. Show it like this. You can get license plates. I don't know what state, if it's only Texas or not. Oh, my voice is probably not going to look, whoa. Anyway, there it is.
That's really, really cool. And no, that is not a CGI plate. Because
it's real.
There was this guy that put a thing in comments where he's going, why are you guys just showing the close-ups of the plates? Why aren't you showing it on the car? And I'm going, what? Because you can't Photoshop a plate on a car? That's even easier than showing a close-up plate. Come on.
What do people think, that we wouldn't really have these plates on our car?
I know. Why wouldn't you? It's cool because you could remain somewhat anonymous. And I think the people who send me the show, why show your plate and the car? If people aren't super proud of their car, but they're proud of the plate, then show off the plate.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what a good car is? One that runs. So be proud if you've got one that runs, if you even have a car. I've been in times in my life when I haven't had a car for a very brief moment in time, somewhat recently. And it was nice. It was refreshing. I didn't have a car or a cell phone for a little while. And in a way, it was nice.
I got a little story for you. I didn't have a car.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, but then when you have a car and a cell phone again, you're like, this is pretty nice.
I didn't have a car for 3 months when I was in Colorado, when I'd sold one car, and I was so close to work. I was walking to work, and Colorado is a great place to be outdoors anyway. And when I dropped my insurance, and it's like, all right, well, I'll take my time looking for a car. And 3 months later, I got a car. Go to the insurance office, my insurance office. And I said, yeah, I'd like insurance. They go, oh yeah, here's your rates. And it was, I think, between double and triple what I was just paying. And I go, what's the deal, guys? I go, I've been with you for 10 years. Why is my rates just, over doubled? They go, well, you're driving without insurance. I go, what are you talking about? I didn't have a car. And they go, we don't know that. I go, what? And then it turned into this blow up where I ended up leaving. And I had a friend who knew an insurance guy, and I come in, I go, "What's the deal?" And they go, "Oh, you didn't know?" I go, "No, what?" They go, "If you have a car, you can never drop insurance, ever." And I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Statistics show that if you drop insurance, there's like a 90-something% chance that you're actually driving without insurance. And so they think so they're going to penalize you for it." I go, "So what happens if you like go on vacation, you go to Europe for 6 months?" And they go, "Oh, you've got to get travel insurance, a special type of travel car insurance." I go, "What's that?" They go, "It's like this token fee that you pay. And what you're saying is that your car's in your garage for 6 months. That basically you can never go off. You never, ever, ever supposed to go off insurance and go back on it. You tell your insurance, you tell your insurance company that, and they say, okay, we'll put you. You tell them in advance, and you still are paying for insurance even though you don't have a car. It is ridiculous, but so I throw it in.
Well, it's like in the United States with health insurance. When you file your taxes, if you don't have health care, you get penalized. Health insurance, excuse me, you get penalized.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if you never get sick? I don't get sick. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, anything could happen to anybody at any time, but I don't have health care. I don't have health insurance. I have, when I've worked for radio in the past at radio stations, it's part of your check, but I don't have health insurance now.
Yeah.
So you get penalized when you do your taxes. It's a scam,
Anyway.
like all these other things are.
I know.
Okay, so I'm going to go back and chat very quickly. I was talking about the song Show and Tell.
Yeah.
It was 1972. Johnny Mathis is the first one who did it. Vanessa Williams also did it, and Peebo Bryson did it as well. But song,
cool.
in case anybody wondering. Oh, I just pushed the wrong button. Back into chat. The noise you just heard a couple minutes ago when we were talking was one of the cats. He kind of brushed up against the license plate, and they're kind of skittish sometimes. Knocked it to the side and freaked out. It's scary when they do that.
Yeah.
Felix Siam says insurance is like pushing drugs. You know what? In many ways, yes. Vincent P. Hello from Free Chan Light says hi all. And what else is going on? Stock Jockey says insurance companies are just like the firmament. You can't get out.
Nice. That's good.
Nexus Ninja says don't need car insurance here in New Zealand. Really?
What?
Really?
How does that happen?
That's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Now, there was a Simpsons reference where the episode where Ned Flanders, all the bad things happened to him that never happened in all the other episodes, and his house burned down. He goes like, "Didn't he have insurance?" I go, "Oh, Ned doesn't believe in insurance. He considers it a form of gambling." It's like, actually, it is.
It is a form of gambling.
It is a form of gambling.
I'm not into gambling, so, but I have insurance, of course. You know, what are you gonna do? So shall we go to predictions?
Yes, let's go to predictions. And by the way, I have the actual printouts from last year when we did this. And if anyone wants to follow along, this was Flat Earth and Other Hot Potatoes, episode 48, which was done on the last week of December. Yep, so we did a Christmas, same sort of thing. We did a Christmas show, then a New Year's show. In fact, I think it was this very same day, a year ago today.
Nothing like consistency.
There you go.
And I want to say Happy New Year from Rory the cat.
Oh, that is the greatest green screen cat I've seen all day. Seriously. Thumbs up to the tech guys that built that.
Yeah. Even soft, too.
Yeah. People are going, it didn't meow. Jaren's wife's probably going, totally a CGI cat. Remember?
You have to tell that story for those who don't know
it. I had Bitsy on my lap for a while. One of the shows, Bitsy the cat, and it wasn't moving, and she thought for sure it was a fake cat, that I was doing like a Dr. Evil type thing. It was a completely fake cat, and then the cat moves.
And remember when you were doing an interview, and I think Jaren was listening, or maybe he was part of the interview, where you said my shelf fell? And then Jaren heard and thought it said shill, like shelf.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like you were signaling that you
were. That was weird. Talk about a weird synchronicity. Yeah, my shelf, that was in Colorado, and my shelf one of the things did collapse, and at the weird time, and people were reading into it. It's like, what is that? Something. What's happening there? Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. So did you have your predictions or you just want me to go off mine?
No, I didn't print them out because I bought a new printer because I got rid of all my electronics when I moved to the UK. It's at my house. Oh, by the way, more all about me, but I've been keeping people abreast of what's happening. The ship from Liverpool, England has docked in Houston. Everything made it through customs. They only charged me $130 extra for no real reason, just because. Anyway, it's going to be delivered to my new house January 3rd. So this is the last time I'm going to do a show from this place.
Cool.
Which is kind of good because I really want to have my old setup with the jukebox behind me, and hopefully everything survived the move. So there's going to be a very busy period in my life. It's been busy anyway lately, getting the house set up and that sort of thing. So I haven't been doing that many videos. I'm sorry. And January is going to be very sparse video wise. I'm still going to hopefully try to do these Wednesday shows with you, but I just need to get the house hammered out. It's just me handling everything. And it's weird just being a vagabond as what I've been lately. So
oh yeah, when I see you, first thing I think of, first word that comes to mind is vagabond. Oh yeah. Yep.
King of the road with like one of those sticks and a bandana.
Stick with a handkerchief bag on the top of it.
That's
yeah.
me. Yeah.
Running from train to train.
That's right. How's the rest of that song go? All of the children call me my name. He names a food that he eats too. Can't remember. Oh wait. Trailers for sale or rent. Something 50 cents. Man of means by no means I'm
King of the road. Yeah.
That's a good song.
It is a good
remember
song.
Who does it? Charlie Pride, maybe?
The chat room will know. The collective consciousness will absolutely know.
But
don't be too hard on yourself about the number of shows, because you got to remember that a year ago this was episode 48.
Right.
And now you're at 100 and
this is 139 right now.
139. I mean, that's
I've done
amazing.
other shows that aren't even numbered, like reading of books and some other things too.
So 90 plus episodes in 52 weeks. Pretty good.
And I'm going to be interviewing Zen Garcia coming up in the new year, and a couple other people are lined up, but it's just going to be a while before I'm able to do it.
Nice.
Too much going on, but I'll be setting up my permanent home, and that's a big thing, and a feeling of safety and permanence. So I need to do that. Not that I need to apologize to anybody for not making videos. We do this of our own free will, so.
We're not contractually obligated.
Exactly.
Wink, wink.
I heard that wink. I saw that wink. I mean,
I was going to wink, but I was going, nope, not giving them a screenshot on that one.
I'm going to try to roll the blinds up a little bit because the sun is going down enough, or across.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Maybe because it's such a pretty view, and it'll be the last time. So let me see. You tell me if it's glaring and bad. Oops.
While Patricia is struggling with what is in a sense just a string, I will be reading the predictions from last year. So last year we did, it's like, what predictions for 2016? And 2016 really was the first full-on flat earth sort of year. 2015 was kind of a partial year.
Yes.
But 2016, we were absolutely in full effect. Oh, wow. That is kind of a cool background. Now you absolutely look green screen. That's awesome.
I look gold. I look like I've got a golden tan. I don't. I'm very pale.
No, but the outline behind your head absolutely looks blue screen, green screen, whatever.
It is really pretty though. You got to.
It is pretty. It's nice.
And Houston's not known, and this is the gallery area. It's not known for its beautiful skyline, but any skyline is nice, really, right? I guess.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, Detroit's not great right now. Okay.
Well, that's true. No, Detroit's got really great. I mean, Detroit, the city itself, is a shambles, but the architecture that is empty and abandoned and falling apart is very metropolis-like.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Too bad they can't just fix that place up, because those buildings are legendary.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there. I mean, we've never seen anything like that in the United States. You check out the documentary Detropia, made by the people that are still there.
Yeah.
Ugh,
but I've
grim.
heard that it's becoming a little bit like Brooklyn in a way. It's getting a lot of art and culture filtering in because people can rent warehouse spaces. I know a friend who's doing it very inexpensively, give or take.
Oh,
doing art there. And
if your goal is just to be a homeowner,
yeah,
you can move there and buy homes for nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, nothing. And if you're an arsonist, there are lots of homes there that need to be destroyed.
Exactly.
Wait, I say that out loud. Okay. Anyway, predictions for 2016, and then we'll go into. I really haven't written any down for 2017.
No,
I'm just kind of
we're gonna wing
winging
it
for
Yeah.
2017 because it's really everything's still on the menu. Okay, so what I started with, I did a pre-prediction. So I've got my top 10.
We came up with those last year together, I remember.
Yeah.
as I recall.
My pre-prediction was that, and was not number 1 or through 10, was the Mars Orion program stalls.
Ooh,
Yes, and
right you are.
that one's not Mars program. The Orion program is not going anywhere. They're talking about it all day long, but that can has been kicked down the road so many times that it's not going anywhere. Number 1, massive international false flag.
Well, no, but there's been many not
Smaller
massive international false flags.
Yeah, there
To the
have been
point where
international false flags.
We'd have to get like PK on or any of these other people. David Weiss would know. Excuse me, DITRH, David. Yeah, he would know.
I mean,
all the ones that have happened. There's so many.
Yeah, but there have been a bunch of small international false flags, but none the big one hasn't happened yet, whatever it is. Number 2 was a disaster involving the ISS. Didn't do that one, but I will say that there was quite a few mishaps, none involving loss of life, involving the private space programs and that package, the Russian space package that got lost recently, the supply package that got lost. SpaceX lost a rocket on the pad and a couple other things. So there were not necessarily disasters, but definitely mishaps. That wasn't terrible.
Well, anything that happens, even if the whole thing blows up, it's not real anyway, so there would be no loss of life.
Well, I know.
There's that. That's positive way to look at it.
Good point. Number 3, and of course, because it's number 3, smack that baby out of the park. The hit count on YouTube will break 5 million. And it broke 5 million during the summer. And as of this morning, I think it's at 7.1 million. So that was way exceeded expectations. Because remember, when we were doing this last year, we weren't even at 3. We were like 2 and change. 3 million.
Now, many people have said that they go and look, they put flat earth into a search and they come up with how many hits there are. And it could be, of course, anti-flat earth or neutral about flat earth or positive about flat earth. So it's kind of a hard way to look at it. But people have said that they look and it fluctuates dramatically.
It's weird. I'm doing it right now. And if you type in flat earth and you just hit refresh, it jumps from 7 million to 4 million back to 7 million. 7.1 to 4.02. And I don't know. And that's been happening for the last few months. I don't know what's going on with the algorithms, but I've noticed it's not just us, it's everybody. It's not just the flat earth topic. Pick any topic that generates over a certain number of hits. If you keep hitting refresh, something keeps changing between the two. And I don't know what it is. I haven't asked YouTube why the huge fluctuation, but it's
just the way the way things work. It could mean nothing conspiratorial.
Yeah, I don't think it's conspiratorial. It's something they're doing recently, though, within the last few months when they're calculating things. So it's not just flat earth. So don't worry about that. And it still is over 7 million. Although the numbers, it's weird because the change between earth is flat and flat earth has the gap has kind of gotten closer together. So when you type in flat earth, it goes like 7 million. But if you type in earth is flat, it's 8 and change. So don't know what's happening there. So
by the way, in chat, many people answered Roger Miller as the singer of King of the Road, including Bob of Globebusters. So
number 4, which I think we pretty much got as well, because remember, this was done in December of last year. Several B-list or higher celebrities will be active in social media about flat earth.
Well, I'd have to go back and look at the timeline. Was that pre Tila Tequila and B.O.B. or?
Well, Tila Tequila was first, but B.O.B. Flatline, if I'm not mistaken, didn't come out until January.
Right, but he was already talking about it before the Flatline album came out. So
that is true. That is true.
Anybody's really come out since then.
The tenor. the guy from the Canadian Tenors Group.
Oh, the Canadian Tenors Group guy. Yes,
Yeah.
actually, I email him occasionally. How could I have even forgotten?
Yeah, he was a flat earther and got thrown out because he changed the Canadian national anthem at the American Baseball All-Star game.
Hmm.
So, and then Neil deGrasse Tyson did his thing after he did his thing in February.
Right.
So
and in some way, he is a B-list celebrity if you think about it.
he is. Well, yeah, he's not A-list, but he's definitely B-list.
Right.
So yeah, I'll take that one. That's
right.
followed by number 5, which is Neil deGrasse Tyson will formally disavow any further discussion about flat Earth. He did the opposite. He'll talk about it with anybody that wants to bring it up in interviews. He is talking about it now. He will not dodge the question. I thought
we
he
just
would.
got corrected by Jaron, who says David Avocado Wolf, the well-known health aficionado who has lots of videos and books and sells health products. So David Avocado Wolf came out as a flat earther. Indeed, Jaron is right. And Jaron and David Avocado Wolf have become in some way friends and correspond with each other. So,
well, all right.
That's a big one. He's a big one in the health world.
Yeah.
And consciousness, like health and consciousness combination. Michael Tellinger, according to Zoe of Be Here in Love as well, has come out as flat earther.
Did you watch that one where he was on that London show?
London Real?
London Real?
Yeah, I've seen him do many things, and I've tried to get a hold of him. The Ubuntu, I wanted to talk to him about that a long time ago, but he's and some people have sent me contact information, and I use it, and he doesn't respond. But I've also heard that he just doesn't respond, period. So, I don't know, maybe there's a backdoor method to contact him. Or maybe he doesn't want to be associated with a flat earth show. We don't know. But true, Michael Tellinger, so many people have come out, but those are people who are doing YouTube videos. I guess by celebrities, we were meaning like Pam Anderson, or not that would help us.
But, somebody, we're still looking. Well, how about the Leonardo DiCaprio thing when he was visiting the Pope?
Kind of, that was very weird, very telling. Yeah. What about George Clooney? What about him? Could he
he really hasn't. George Clooney hasn't addressed it yet. I wish he would, being his fake #1 fan that I am. No, I like George Clooney. I do. Is he a role model of mine? No.
No. It's an inside joke for those who don't know why sometimes Mark says George Clooney. It's like I don't know. It's his.
I do not subliminally George Clooney say anything about stuff like that. Do you know, by the way, I recently changed. I was talking to someone just the other day, and I recently changed my role model, my lead role. You're gonna think I'm absolutely insane. My new #1 role model from a guy's standpoint is Fred Rogers.
Why?
Because he's probably the most genuine.
Oh, I agree. I know what you're saying now.
Yeah. Fred Rogers. I rewatched him when he was addressing Congress back in the 60s, when he was getting the funding, to launch PBS.
Loving.
Yeah, celebrities went to that studio to meet him because he shot it all. Where'd he shoot it? Not in Hollywood, somewhere else, Indiana. And they would go out to meet him because everyone said the same thing. It's like he is not a character on television. That is this guy.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, for those who are saying, who are you guys talking about?
Yeah, who are you talking about? Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Yeah. Number 6, that was a bold prediction on my part. NASA will announce contact with another life form on Mars as part of a smoke screen. Didn't happen.
That was bold. That was pretty bold. But I mean, they're prying us for that. It seems like maybe not Mars, but somewhere.
Yeah, I still think that event is going to happen. Whether or not, I mean, that's really a kind of a zoomed in version of some sort of, some other civilization is going to make themselves known. I don't care if it's a golden spaceship or a silver spaceship. Somebody is going to do something. It's like, we're not from here. Let us tell you what the deal is.
With like, do, 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 do. Well, that was my.
Oh, you mean Close Encounters?
Third kind music.
Oh,
what?
No, it's da 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 da.
Yeah, there you go. You got it better than I do.
Da, 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 da.
Yep.
The number 7, there will be a major roundtable with university scientists and leading flat Earth proponents. No.
Well.
But there was that one university, and I can't remember the name of them. Somebody help me out. back east, and I think it was in the South, that
Yes.
did do that flat Earth roundtable. One, for their freshmen, it was required for their freshman incoming group, and they had somebody for and somebody against. Now, it wasn't apparently a really good argument. I listened to most of it, and they were just kind of going through the motions, because the guy that was going for it really didn't believe in it, and the guy that was going against it really didn't hate it. But they were covering it.
And I think it might have just been one of those things where it would hone students' debating skills. So they used something topical to bring about people's debating skills. I don't think they were really debating it as if maybe they thought it was flat.
No. Number 8, Donald.
What about number 8, when we predicted John Glenn would die? That was a good one. We got that one. Oh wait, we didn't predict that.
Damn it! I could have said that, but somebody would have looked it up. It's like, that's not what number 8 was. The number 8 is Donald Trump reinforces his stance on flat Earth during his campaign bid. Didn't say he was for or against, just say that he would address it. Now, Donald Trump did not directly say that. We've got no video or audio, but thought it was interesting. The year hasn't ended yet, and his before the inauguration, his guy, and you guys can look this up, talked about, I think it was one of his advisors, went on record and said that anyone that deals with climate change, it might as well be a flat earther. And then the press ran with that. The mainstream media did run with that. So I thought that it was kind of second, once removed, but that's not terrible.
Well, we got a couple right.
Oh yeah. No, we got some really right. Anyway, moving on. We got 2 more. The mainstream will produce a flat earth enemy / antichrist. Someone that goes out against flat earth.
Yeah.
The closest we got to that, as far as I can tell, was Joe Rogan.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but it wasn't
at that time, I believe. He'd already turned. He'd already become a turncoat.
Yeah. And then again, Joe Rogan, in fact, he hasn't done much lately. He did 12 episodes plus, and did that hour-long thing dedicated directly against Eric Dubay. And then number 10, mainstream will try to make, and this was mine, this was not you. Mainstream will try to make a connection between flat earth and terrorism. Because I think
those things that we predicted can all go forward to predictions that didn't come true. Can all go forward to
yeah. I mean, no one's tied. Like for example, when that guy left that boat, Jeranism's boat. I was thinking, oh great, are they going to blow it up? Are they going to set it on fire? What are they going to do? How long before somebody fakes something? And all they have to do is spray paint flat earth on the side of it. And then the next thing you know, it's like, oh, flat earthers should be rounded up and put in camps. Well, we have some camps ready to go right now just for flat earthers. So anyway, that was not terrible.
Let's see. Let's look into chat and see what's going on. We've got Bob from Globuster saying Fred Flintstone recently came out as a flat earther. No, Bob, that's a flat-footed earther, I think, in that case.
No. He's mentioning the old episode where they were on a ship and they were talking about flat Earth. All of them, Barney and Wilma and Betty and Fred.
Were they on like a Stone Age cruise or something?
Yeah. I can't remember if it was a time travel episode or whatever, but they were talking about the Earth being flat.
Mm.
Yeah, like it was obvious. Like they would know, of course, that it was flat.
Of course, they would know, right?
Yeah.
The later episodes of cartoons, Hanna-Barbera and others, they started off normal and they always went wacky before they stopped making them at the end with like imaginary friends who can fly and just craziness. Oh my gosh, DITRH David says John B. Wells. He is kind of a flat earth antichrist lately.
He has been
a talk show host who's been, not even lately, for quite some time, attacking David Weiss personally, refusing to look into it.
Yep.
I've gone to his Facebook page and made a comment. So has Jaron.
John B. Wells is the perfect example of the only defense against flat Earth is to not look at it. If flat Earth is literally the Pandora's box, right? And you say, all you have to do is look at it. Go ahead, just look, right? And they say no. And the only defense is It's a stupid box. I'm not looking in the box. It's insulting for me that you're even showing me the box. You're dumb for looking in the box. That's the only way you can get away from flat Earth, is to just not. You remember the 5 stages of acceptance: denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then finally acceptance. They never get past denial, which is, I don't have to look at it. It's dumb. So, and they put a little touch of anger on top of it. You know, the insults. I listened to the John B. Wells thing, and yeah, he goes personal. It's like, if anyone that believes in that box, they're idiots. They're morons. You know,
It's
obviously
insulting.
science is absolutely right. But then again, if you ask John B. Wells, the same thing. It's like, so you absolutely, I bet you he toes the line, like with George Norrie and Alex Jones and Joe Rogan. Do you believe that NASA is 100% true? Yes, I do. Why? American pride? Because the United States government would never lie to you? That what? I go off. Anyway, go on. Sorry.
Oh, I just want to say hello to Political Hillbilly, and I want to say hello to Zern Music, who are in the chat. So many other people too. I scroll through chat and miss a bunch of people, and then it disappears off the screen. DITRH says that Fred was always a flat earther, even before Dubé and Powerland. Interesting.
Wait, Fred? Oh, Fred.
Yeah.
That reminds me. I hate to do this to you, because I'll throw you off the rails a little bit. Stephen Wright, the great 80s comedian.
I really like Stephen Wright. However, about 4 to 5 months ago, I revisited Stephen Wright. I used to be a big fan and listened to some of his older YouTube videos. And he used to make me laugh to where like tears were coming out of my eyes.
Yeah.
Because of his self-deprecating, dark, sort of disturbing humor. And I listened to some of the same kind of routines I'd listened to before, and I wasn't laughing. And I thought, have I changed, or has society's changed, and our perception of what's funny has changed? Because it's very specific to a time, topical, timely, etc.
Yeah, well, it's not just topical, but once you've heard a joke enough times, you know, how many times do you listen to? I was a big fan of Eddie Murphy's first 2 comedy albums, Delirious and Raw, but I haven't listened to them in probably a decade. But they were brilliant when they came out. Stephen Wright, I saw 3 times on stage in 3 different cities, which was weird. Of all the, you know, because I do not do a lot of comedy shows, but he was one of the, you know, his stuff was so insightful and made you think, you know, like it's a small world, but I wouldn't want to paint it. What do you add to powdered water, blah, blah, blah. But the Stones one was a great one, because he kind of snuck up on people with that one. He's going, the Stones, I can't believe they're still doing it after all these years. Watch them whenever I can. Fred and Barney. It's like funny.
Oh, I get it.
Because the Flintstones used to be the longest running animated show of all time, until the Simpsons just took them out without even looking back. But the Flintstones ran for many seasons.
The Jackie Gleason TV show was actually, he was Fred, and
his
wife was Wilma, really. And there was a Betty and Barney in the Jackie Gleason black and white TV show as well. I mean, the characters, they were.
Oh yeah, it's a complete rip-off of the Honeymooners. Yes. Absolutely.
Funny Honeymooners.
But yeah, and you probably saw that thing where back in the day, the Flintstone cartoon actually endorsed cigarettes and beer. Yeah.
I want to say hello to Michael of Wake the Sheeple fame, and hello to Time Will Tell as well, and Hammer 6, and anybody else I've not said hello to. I'll come back in here and say hello again. People seem to be having a good time in here, and it doesn't seem to be trouble going on in here. Huh. In here, I'm pointing to my phone. In my phone, there's no trouble at the moment. Which is good, which is nice.
Phone.
Starting off the new year with pleasant conversation, which is really what the show is about. In real life, we don't really have people that we can turn to, most of us anyway, and talk about flat Earth. I mean, you do with Melody. And your mom's a flat earther. Your mom, Patricia, is a flat earther. So you can talk to them both. You're lucky, by the way.
Yeah, but my sister, she doesn't believe in anything.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law. The what?
She doesn't believe in anything, period. Like
she doesn't. There are no conspiracies. If it's on the news, it's absolutely true. You know, it's God to Fox News to her ears type thing.
The powers that should not be rely upon people like your sister. She's doing a great job keeping this system going.
Yeah. But again, I still think there are a lot of, and we've seen this with the numbers, you know, the one prediction about the fact that we would break 5 million relevant search hits. the numbers are deceiving, which is I still think there is a huge amount of closet flat earthers out there that
Yes.
don't know who to talk to. For every person that gets motivated to make a video or get on a panel or whatever it is, or even start a web page, there are so many more people that don't have that ability, and then multiply that by a lot of people that are just scared to death about even talking about it because they literally don't know. It's like, what will my family members think of me? What will my coworkers think of me? And so it just keeps seething underground at this point.
And we don't know what's going on in other countries or other non-English speaking countries. At least I don't. We hear stories about what's going on. There's a flat earth things going on in Brazil, flat earth things going on in China, Estonia as well.
Yeah.
Hamas as well has told us about that. But we don't know about these things. What's going on in Thailand? Nick of Phuket Word said that his wife, who's Thai, knows it's flat, and just her family just knows. It's just the way they've been brought up. And when you look at YouTube videos and you see how many subscribers a YouTuber has, and then you see the amount of views, sometimes there's less subscribers than the amount of views. Well, that's because there's lots of people viewing videos who are not subscribed to particular YouTubers, nor do they even have a channel.
Yeah.
They're just like I was before I started a channel, watching without a channel, watching whatever videos I was watching way back then. A lot of people don't even know you can have a channel. We're all mired in this world where there's chat and we know each other and we watch each other's videos and all of that. But there's a larger world outside of our world that's not even YouTube knowledgeable, that don't even know about YouTube.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh yeah. Yeah. There was, and plus when you're coming in from other devices, if you're watching YouTube via, what is it? ITV, the hit count will go up, but you can't, you have no easy access to a thumbs up or a thumbs down or subscribe. There was a guy that I did an interview with months and months ago who said, oh yeah, by the way, there's going to be about 20,000 hits on this video. I go, you know this in advance? He goes, well, yeah, because it's going through my webpage and I have about that many people that frequent my webpage on a regular basis. So yeah, there was about 20,000 hits that came in almost immediately for that video, but there was almost no thumbs up and thumbs down because those people going from the website had no ability to do that. So, and that's how things get passed around. When you pass videos around on Facebook, if you insert the link, no matter where it is, it's just a link to view it. So the view count will go up, but that's all that anyone, ever sees. So yeah, the numbers can get a little skewed from time to time, but I don't care.
There's more flat earthers than we know about. That's
a lot more flat earthers than we know about.
Teresa Double Bubble Gordon is here. So, hey, Teresa. NASA Fake says, hey, people. We've got Kamal in here too, saying that people are now seriously thinking. Michael of Wake the Sheeple says he's out of chat. See ya. Cheers. Thank you for stopping by. I saw a couple other comments. Oh, from Sharon Ellis. This is a good one. I tell at least 10 people a week about flat earth when I go to the mall or at 7-Eleven. Which is a convenience store, or out to eat. And she says she generally sends them to Mark's channel. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I'm still going to, and I haven't done it. I've been too busy with my own finding a place to live thing or getting it set up. Make some business cards with flat earth on them, and then a couple of different links. You'll put yours, I'll put Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, I'll put a couple other YouTubers channels on there, and maybe research flat earth, and then have it with me. Those moments when you want to talk to somebody about flat earth, you can talk to them and they will be interested, like Sharon was saying. But unless somebody's willing at that very moment to go and subscribe to a channel, like with their phone while you're standing there, they may walk away going, yeah, what that man told me or what that woman told me, that's very interesting. I don't understand why rockets go up and then curve down. I've seen that all my life. I thought it was weird. She's giving me some good things to think about her. Wow, he's giving me some things that make me scratch my head. Giving them something to take with them, like a business card that has links on it that they can go to later when they can't sleep, they're in bed, and they're like, oh, hey, that's bugging me. I heard about that flat earth. Let me look it up. And they look at that card. They have things they can go to, like Jeranism or Glowbusters, where they're going to get the information packaged neatly and give them the tools that they need to research flat earth correctly. Because
there's so
much content out there. this content, hit piece content on people. I mean, that's not going to help anybody wake up to flat Earth who's an outsider.
I was lucky that the publisher of Flat Earth Clues out in London sent me a whole bunch of postcards that I could hand out to people or mail to them or whatever, and those things were perfect because they got all, you know, they're big enough that I can crank out all the information. The other side is either the license plate, it's flat, or it's the cover of the book. And I've been handing them to, you know, especially if I'm going between here and Canada, I'll hand them the custom agents if they ask me. Of course, I will wait for them to ask me. You know, they'll say, so what, you know, what's it flat mean on your license plate? It's, one guy asked me literally, he goes, you a musician or something? I go, I don't get it. And they go, flat, like the music? I'm going, oh, it's funny. No, it's not it. And then I'll hand him a card. So.
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Oh yeah,
to have the license plate, but the business card thing or whatever postcard thing will be back.
Well, it's very helpful because, again, remember the 30-minute short-term memory of human beings. You know, 30 minutes and they will forget pretty much almost everything.
What? Huh? What is this thing?
Oh, on? Patricia, I'm sorry.
Oh, what's your?
Were you on a show? Yeah, short-term memory, 30 minutes. It's no lie. You know, try when somebody gives you a phone number, you know, if you don't repeat it to yourself like 4 or 5 times, like right away, you will not remember it 30 minutes later. You just won't have it. It's gone.
I'm bad at remembering phone numbers, and it's even worse having a cell phone because you don't know people's numbers anymore. You know. Yeah. I had when I came back from the UK, I had to get a new phone number because I didn't have a phone while there, and I had to, of course, get a new phone number, etc. And I had to write it down because I couldn't. I felt like an idiot. Remember my own phone number. I want to say goodbye to Zoe of Be Here in Love, who had to run. Hello to Flat Earth Math and Flat Cat. I do like that name. Nice. Although it does imply a cat run over, but yes, I like the concept of Flat Cat. Interesting. Randolph Kane says 50 years ago, the average attention span was 1 hour, and now it's 3 minutes.
That does not surprise me at all. At all. So I'm still pretty good as far as attention spans go, but the more media I absorb, YouTube has really cut that number down because I'm skimming so much stuff because there's only so much time in the day. Have you ever thought, and I know this has happened to you before, you thought there was a video that you were sent or that you were watching or found on your own and it was positive toward flat Earth and then later found out it was negative, but you only skimmed so you didn't know? I know that happened to you. I got burned a couple times on that. So I will now, when I'm watching YouTube videos, I will do it in chunks if it's long. Or and
like David Weiss, do it really fast, super high speed.
I don't do that, but sometimes I will let it run in the background if I'm doing something else. Now, but luckily, if someone wants to attack flat Earth, they usually do it in the first 5 minutes.
Yes, it's true.
Usually.
That's true.
So,
I am not a Mandela effect person. I'm curious about it and interested.
Mandela.
But yeah, exactly. But
I don't know why you keep saying Mandela.
I know. But I'm interested in it, but I don't think it's true, and I'm not into simulation theory, but I think it's interesting. So I'll just say that up front. I like things that I can prove as much as possible anyway.
I don't have a problem with Mandela effect. The only thing that limits us there is that we don't have the technological ability to take people's memories and put them straight to a screen. You know, like the way we've done in science fiction movies, where you can take whatever's in your head and, like, you know, the memory of something and put it onto a recorded device, a recording media. If you could do that, then, oh yeah, you could prove Mandela effect in a heartbeat, probably, with enough people. But we're relying on people's memories. Right. And there's nothing, you can't prove it. It's like, how many witnesses can you bring out in court? Yeah, they all say that the Berenstain Bears and whatever else, but it's still, you don't have anything else to work off of.
Right. It is hard to know, to trust your
but I love the phenomena. I love that a lot of people think. I've felt it a few times. Sure.
Yes, I have felt it a few times as well as the interview with the vampire. But the idea about it being true means there's more going on than meets the eye. And the idea that it being untrue is basically that we have faulty memory. So it's whatever way you want to look at it. But True Grit says the Mandela effect. And here's a good one. I've heard this going around Facebook and Twitter lately. Did Tom Cruise in Risky Business have black Ray-Bans on in that famous scene where he was wearing the underwear and dancing around? Did he have Ray-Bans on or not?
Yes, he did.
A lot of people are saying that the Ray-Bans, now see, I'd have to see the picture of what they show now when you look up Risky Business isn't what people remember. I think they remember a white t-shirt or something like this. I wish I had it in front of me. Somebody clear it up for me in here, if you can. I think
When he was singing old time rock and roll, I'm almost positive he was wearing the sunglasses. Sunglasses, white shirt and socks, and tidy whitey underwear.
People remember. But I think, and somebody will correct me in chat, that now it's a white and pink striped button-down shirt and no sunglasses. If you look at the real Risky Business.
All right.
Now, Sharon Ellis agrees, white t-shirt, underwear, and Ray-Bans. Everyone else is saying Ray-Bans, yes. Globebusters Bob, yes. Martin Liedke says that. So I want to go back to the person whose information I just read and ask him, what are they saying? What is the Mandela effect saying, or the Mandela effect? You know,
the Mandela effect?
If we looked up Risky Business right now, is it a pink and white striped shirt and no Ray-Bans that he's wearing when he's dancing? That's what's being said.
Why would it be a pink and white shirt?
Well, during that time frame in the 80s, I remember being in Michigan. I think it's an 80s movie.
Definitely an 80s movie. 83?
Yeah, it was popular to be preppy in the Midwest of the United States, which some people in the UK would consider a look that they would call
gay.
mod revival, like button-down shirts, very neatly tucked in, neat belted pants that are very fitted. I'm talking about for men. That nice sweaters. Sometimes people would have their sweaters monogrammed.
Oh, I had a pink polo shirt. Yeah.
There you go. That look. And in the UK, they had a different thing. It was called the mod revival, a revival of what was essentially a 1960s look.
Yeah.
So the Risky Business movie had that look on Tom Cruise. So that's why he would be wearing a pink and white shirt. It was popular at the time, that kind of shirt, like a dress shirt. But look at it yourself. Think what you remember about Risky Business, and then look up what's on movie posters, DVD covers, or whatever you can find online. I think it's the white t-shirt and the Ray-Bans and the underwear and the socks. But other people have said, no, I look it up and it's something totally different. That would be a mind blower. But what can we do about it? By the way, let's just say we all looked it up right now and there's Tom Cruise dancing and he's got a pink and white shirt on, no Ray-Bans. What do we do about it?
Nothing. There's nothing you can do, because then you fall into the science fiction alternate timeline trap, which is, all right, fine. The last time we were in this reality, that, you know, it was this version, and you know, but there's nothing. You got nothing. It's like, fine. All it does is kind of reinforce a split reality. Now, can it be tied to flat Earth in some way? Yeah, maybe, but I don't think it's ever going to get to the point where it's like, oh, it was always flat Earth. Man, if that ever happens, we're going to be alone on an island.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be, well, of course it's flat Earth. It's like, no, it wasn't. You guys were all fighting me 2 months ago. But
wow, it's flat says pink shirt, no sunglasses.
Really?
And, Michael of Wake the Sheeple says, I remember the pink and white shirt seriously. See, this is the kind of thing that the Mandela effect does. It makes us, you know, I remember this, I remember that. Meanwhile, you know, there's all sorts of other more important things that are going on out there.
Yeah.
But it is interesting to talk about. And I don't think.
Hey, while we're doing stuff, and if you're looking for me to go on a tear or anything, I want to kind of go over remember I've got my flat Earth, because people say, well, if you're trying to introduce somebody new to flat Earth, where do you point them? And I usually point them at my short list. And my short list has sort of evolved over the last 15 months, or whenever I started creating this damn thing. And I kind of wanted to rattle off some of these, and if you want to chime in on some, you can. But I didn't know what else you had in front of you on your.
Oh, I've got a bunch of emails, but continue. This is important, because we were talking earlier about waking people up to flat Earth and putting it on business cards or on, you know, postcards. So short list is great.
Because the short list, and it's not very long, and I'll punch through them. Is because I get lots of emails from people say, look, I've got a brand new person. What shall I point them at when it comes to flat Earth? And I said, well, you know, I made a list specifically called Flat Earth Short List for New People. In fact, I added the 4 new people recently, just so that, you know, it was super clear. And it's not exactly in order of importance, although the top 10 are usually the ones that'll get people, and they range anywhere from 5-minute videos to over an hour long. And you'll you being you'll know almost all of them. The first one is, of course, not me. It is Flat Earth: The Ultimate Litmus Test by Marty Leeds.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think that's good. Followed by, and I think this one is important to bring in, is the Flat Earth Live from Lancashire, England, the New Horizons thing that was done by Darren Nesbitt. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Darren Nesbitt, because it shows you the power of this topic, where you can look at, this is not a big channel, and some of their most of their videos like 100 hits, 80 hits, barely. I mean, they'd be lucky if they got over triple digits. And this thing, as of right now, has, if I click on it real fast, 672,000 hits, which is amazing. The First Spacewalk Hoax by Max Malone, 11 minutes long. I like Max's delivery. I wish he'd do more. The Flat Earth in Movies and Television Shows 2016 by Scrawny DeBronny.
Mm-hmm.
The Flat Earth God Answers You Can't Write This Stuff by Mars Harris, also known as Rick Hummer, from a good friend of Rob Skiba.
Yes.
The NASA official says there is no video on Earth in space rotating on its axis by The Ronald Show, where he pretends to be a Hollywood producer and calls up the NASA's trademark office and wants footage of the Earth rotating. Yes. They got nothing. One of the many copies of NASA, basically it's the Orion Trial by Fire video that NASA put out. Somebody mirrored it. It's called NASA Admits They Never Went to the Moon. This does not prove the Earth is flat, but I thought it was good. Flat Earth for Beginners by Fran Anderson. Plain Earth 2016 Intention and Desire by Marmar Queen. Flat Earth, this is one you probably don't know. Flat Earth and How We Got Indoctrinated by Lana Infinite Love.
No, do I? No, I mean, I'm sure at the time I might have watched it, but I can't.
A woman who's basically just talking to the camera and saying how we got in this mess in the first place. It's only 5 minutes long. It's good. Space is Fake, Shut the Front Space Door by Truth is Stranger Than Fiction. Flat Earth Popular Questions by Flat Earth Asshole.
Mm-hmm.
He's been
doing some great videos.
Yeah, he's been doing some great stuff. And I know, when we finally do the Flatties Award thing, whenever we're doing that sucker, we'll go over some of these as well. The Flat Earth Clues interview 60, when I did my debate on Dark 30 Radio. If you want to hear how a debate can sometimes go down, when I was supposed to go up against Richard Hoagland and went after those other guys, DITRH, Dave, and me, went up against. Clue to NASA's Fake Earth Moon Transit by Orphan Red. Magnifying Moonlight Cools Water 7 Degrees More Than Shaded Water by Zeteticism.com, otherwise known as Jeffrey Grupp.
Yeah.
Flat Earth Testimony Shows on Strange World. That's my promo. It's just basically saying, look, there's a lot of people in the professional community that is willing to talk about this. I mean, there's a lot of people. Top 7 Reasons Why I Believe the Earth is Flat, in Flat Earth 2016 by Scrawny DeBronny. Boats Over the Curve 100% Debunked by Jeranism. Really like that one. Flat Earth in 5 Minutes, straight up by ODD. That really cool one it was recent. Flat Earth: The Real Name of the World by Tomix.
Oh yes.
The guy that was too nervous about his English accent.
Yes.
Are you kidding? You're better.
He'll do an interview with me, but he says he wants to have a translator. So I'm thinking, should I not? It would kind of be, should I?
He sounds fine. I don't know why.
I think he sounds great.
He sounds better than some English people. Yeah. Scientism Exposed, full documentary by Celebrate Truth. What Happened to the Flat Earth? Interesting title, but a better video by CD Fury. Zeteticism, Volume 5, Zetetic Water and Sunset Light Reflection Patterns by Zeteticism.com. And the one I just put in there this morning, which is why I'm bringing this up, is because this thing keeps evolving. Flat Earth Sunset Experiment, Air Density by Research Royal Rife, which I believe he was a chopped up edited version that was done by P-Brain, if I'm not mistaken. So Between all those, you should be able to, give a whole, there's something there for everybody, basically. Despite their attention span, there's 5 minutes, there's a whole bunch of videos that are under 10 minutes in there, but there are several that are over an hour.
I do want to add that aside from your Flat Earth shortlist for new people that you have on your channel, Mark Sargent, also ditrh.com, if you go to his website, there's a wealth of information. He adds new videos to it all of the time too. So Mark Ofsky says that Darren Nesbitt is indeed a great speaker.
He did wonderful, and he hasn't done a whole bunch lately, but why does he have to?
Yeah, he's good. Sharon Ellis says, I tell people, don't listen to me. Go listen to the physicists, pilots, surveyors, and structural engineers who say it's flat.
Yeah.
Soul Secret says Tom Cruise is flat.
He's short. He's not flat.
This is true. And a couple people are, saying we're in the middle of the end times. And Michael of Wake the Sheeple says, no fake end time fear porn. Stop it right now. And my belief on that is, I agree with Michael of Wake the Sheeple. End time fear porn might be fun to watch in a sci-fi movie, and not a sci-fi. Well, yeah, it's in sci-fi movies or in a dramatic movie, but I don't like talking about it now, because if it's going to happen, it happens. But by the way we live our life with the intent and what we put into it, perhaps we can stop it. So let's act as if things are going to be fine, and then through our actions make them fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that, where I try to tell people now, I don't care what you see in the news, don't take it at face value. And the bigger it is, the less you should believe it. Up to the point where if anybody in mainstream news, if CNN all of a sudden reports that Nibiru is in the sky, Planet X has reared its ugly head finally, and people should, everyone should panic. No, don't do the absolute opposite, because it is fake. It is staged. Oh yeah, there may be loud noises and maybe some explosions here and there, but it is not real. Nothing is real. DITRH would be the first one to chime in on that. It's like, be skeptical of everything you see in the media. Now that every time I see a story, and the bigger it is, the more I squint when I'm looking at it, going, okay, what are you guys trying to do now?
True. Flat Earth has opened our eyes to all these other things that are going, all the other conspiracies. Our eyes were open to some of those before, then we found Flat Earth, and then we started squinting a little bit harder at the other conspiracies. Either way, we've learned more about the world we live in. We haven't learned exactly what it is, but we've certainly learned what it isn't on many levels. So, True Grit says, I'm leaning towards CERN from Mandela, but still trying to prove it. Please do. Mr. Poncho Pete is in the chats. He says he swings in through the window dressed just like Morrissey. Well, that would make you very dapper then, Pete, and I would definitely approve. I had Morrissey tickets twice here in Houston in the past couple of months. He had a concert. I got tickets for it. Concert canceled. A bandmate sick. Fair enough. It was rescheduled. Canceled again. Now, I still love Morrissey, and I'll still get tickets if he comes around again. But that man sure cancels a lot of concerts. Very annoying.
I wonder if people will ever come up to him and they say, hey, what time is it now?
I don't get it. Oh, song reference. Yes. Good. I like it.
I wouldn't. That's why if you introduce me to him, that's what I'm going to say.
It would be so cool to meet Morrissey.
I'll tap my watch and I'll pretend it's broken. I go, hey, what time is it now?
He's good.
And be like, I see what you did there. Then I'll walk away.
His songs, if you like it or don't like it, just the lyrics in general, they're very deep with this sort of dark humor in them about the things that we all go through in life. Pain, loneliness, rejection. Even if you've got a happy life and a wonderful mate, we've all been there. And he makes these songs that many people do, but I just like the way in which he does it. And I've been a fan of his for forever. Nice. Brap All Good is here and says hello. So Byron Clown is using a play on words for a Morrissey song. Instead of this night has opened my eyes, he said this microphone has opened his eyes. So I like it. I like wordplay with Morrissey songs. Fun stuff.
Nice.
So should we read emails before we go? We have a
We
little bit of time left.
can. In fact, I've gotten another 7 emails since this thing started. Awesome.
Wow. I just got one right there. You could probably hear the ding.
Uh,
You go from chat. You can
you know, and unfortunately, it's cyclic, as you probably figured out, and that is, so I do email shows because I'm getting so many emails, I can't read them all in Strange World, and so people send me more emails because they think I'll probably read them on air. And same thing goes with the phone calls. No, I mean, last night I think I did 2 emails, 3 tops. The rest were phone calls. Getting a few trolls too.
Oh, that's a good sign.
Yeah, I know. It is a good sign.
The more people who say you're this or that with no evidence and no proof.
Yeah, it means they're thinking.
What does Nathan Oakley say? There's no such thing as bad publicity. So.
There isn't. There absolutely isn't. That's why when Donald Trump's advisor came out and was doing his little thing, every time somebody says flat earth in mainstream, I don't care in what reference it is, it just adds to our metrics.
So we've got some questions from David, friend of mine. It's not DITRH, who jokingly says that I'm Catwoman and you're Batman. I like that.
But which Batman? Michael Keaton, Christian Bale, George Clooney? Ha!
Which Batman would you be if you could be one of them? Play that role.
Because I'm an '80s kid, I want to be Val Kilmer, the Val Kilmer Batman. He was.
Yeah, I like the Val Kilmer Batman, but I just think he's got a beautifully shaped face, and the part of his face that showed through the Batman mask just looked good.
Real Genius, still one of my favorite '80s movies of all time. Val Kilmer.
The Doors.
Willow.
Okay, I like The Doors better than Willow.
Willow is such people are probably typing nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
Fine. Hey, Willow was before Lord of the Rings. Just remember that.
Dungeons and Dragons, anyone?
Good point.
Maybe. Okay. Here's a question from David, who writes, do you think there is a rhyme or reason to this place, aside from the fact that is there a potential for a control panel somewhere accessible within it? If so, do you think it's located at either a magnetic north or somewhere along the rim in the South Pole? Good question. Heavy question.
A control panel accessible by us?
Well, I guess it would be something that you would find. Yeah.
No. You don't. For the same reason you don't allow a civilization to be able to create with household materials a weapon that can be used to get out of here. You would, control panel is too easy. I mean, it's a great movie concept. We all have it.
Show. I mean, they showed the.
Oh yeah. But Truman never had access to anything. You wouldn't, because you're just tempting fate in that case. And if you, like, for example, let's say you put a control panel out there somewhere in the middle of nowhere underneath, behind 20 different traps, Indiana Jones style. Do you let people know? Do you create a secret map and watch all these people quest for the control panel? No, it's too dangerous, too risky. It's same reason, again, I don't want to be too nerdish here, but I am a big dork, which is there's a reason why, if anyone plays video games, why their cheat codes aren't really given out with the game. You have to call the company and ask for them, and maybe they'll give them to you. Most of the time, they're just for the developers. You can't cheat codes for this world. Some people call them magic. Some people say that magic are the cheat codes for the world. No, you don't. It's not allowed. You can't because people will use them. I had a friend that was notorious for using cheat codes. Yeah, that's all he cared about were the cheat codes. Multiply that by everybody around. If you told them there was a way that they could get out that was relatively easy, everyone would try for it. And it would have happened by now.
This is perhaps true. This is a related question I got via Facebook from Jay Arcturama, who says, hi, Patricia, hope you're doing well. Can you help me find the answers to why our compass points north?
Because there's a magnetic force in the center of the map known as north. And well, the bigger question would be, and the Australian intelligence officer that I dealt with, oh geez, early this year, or was it last year? Crap, I don't even remember now. I think it was 2015 now, where he said that what's interesting is that when does it flip to the south? Meaning, if it's a globe, eventually, when you get below the equator, that needle is going to, roll over, and the strength is going to be pulled from the south. He goes, it never happens. And the Australian intelligence guy said that he was talking to some military people down, in the southern hemisphere around Australia, and an older veteran was the guy who says, look, he goes, as far as I know, there is no South Pole, not magnetically anyway. Yeah, sure, they'll take you out to the middle of nowhere to that sphere, which I think is interesting. But when you get to the South Pole, it's actually a silver ball,
yes,
surrounded by flags. But magnetically, there is no South Pole. It never flips over. It always goes north. And you got to think, okay, is North Pole that much stronger? Or is it just because it's a flat map and everything points north?
Mount Meru would be another answer, something that we can't point to. But
Yeah.
do you remember the last show we did? We were talking about the domain name that sold for a whole lot of money.
Right.
Yes. Well, somebody else revealed who it was, and I think I sent it to you. Do you have?
It was a holding company.
Yeah, somebody who's going to just be sitting on it.
Yeah.
Earthisflat.com, for those who don't remember us discussing this last Wednesday on The Secret Show. Somebody else messaged me and said, earthisflat.com is back up for sale. Now, I can't confirm this, but this was told to me.
Is that now? Just happened?
$25,200. Now it's $21,000 as of December 24th at 2:25 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So
interesting.
Yeah. So the holding company got it to sit on it and then sold it for less than they purchased it for. I don't know how it all works.
Maybe. I mean, it happens with people that do stock, like are day traders in stock.
Right.
Maybe somebody bought it and then was like, wait a minute, what did I buy exactly? Or maybe it was a supervisor said, what did you
buy
just
a
buy?
star with my name on it? Wait a minute, this might not be a good value after all.
Yeah. I mean, it's again, domain squatting on something like that is risky at best. So, but again, it's fact that it's sold the first time. Hey, great. Glad that people are still looking at it.
Jeranism says, I have flatearth.mobi taking offers.
Nice.
Marku Kianian, I know I said that wrong, Marku, says, Mount Meru, here we come. LOL. What else is in here too? Byron Clown says, things are being moved and scraped across the sky. I mean, maybe. Possible.
Oh, you mean the sounds, the strange sounds? Oh, no, you listen to those strange sounds again and tell me if they don't sound like giant mechanical devices.
True, but the strange sounds have been debunked, but also not debunked. I think Dorje Daka put out a video. He took it down, then he put it back up. The YouTuber, or Dorje, I always say his name wrong, because he was getting some flack about, those sounds are from a movie, it's been debunked. And then he looked further into it and thought, some people have debunked it and other people say no, it's legit. So Dorje video, look into it.
If you're going to go down that road, you might as well say that all crop circles have been debunked. And they haven't. People say, well, no, it was done by those two guys in England. It's like, no, there are so many crop circles. Now, granted, once Photoshop, people got really good with Photoshop, you could draw crop circles. But the plane flights, the people that fly, check out the people that fly over the crop circles, with Cessnas right after they happen. But the one crop circle, I call it crop writing. Look up Krasnodar. I included at least a couple of those slides in my slideshow. Krasnodar, Russia. And that is crop writing, covers a massive tract of land. And it's not circles. It looks like text, 3 pages of massive text.
Well, as back to the sounds, Brap Allgood on his first year of doing Flat Earth, he did a video, he says, debunking the sounds. So
I believe in the sounds. They can't all be screwed up. They're from too many different places.
Slow them down and then listen, and you'll hear things that you recognize. But Tinfoil Hatter comes back and says, I recall in 2011, even 2010, weird, loud noises. So, I don't know.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Jaren says, Jeranism.com is for sale, $50K.
Nice.
A couple of people have a flatearthtrucking.com by David Blackson. He has that. I don't think it's for sale.
Flat Earth Trucking?
Yeah, why not? I think it's a great idea that if you've got a new business, I mean, it would detract attention.
Sure.
I think it's cool. Ronnie of Event Skeptic, hello to you, who's in here. Did I say hello to John and Julie James? I think I was just about to, and I skipped over it.
I don't know.
they're a really cool, nice couple. Francis Patron says, Happy New Year to all. And thumbs up for Patricia's house. Yeah, thumbs up for my house. From because I'll have a place to live.
Yay.
I'm currently glamping, which is glamour camping at the moment.
Glamour camping.
Glamping.
I was about to say, is there a term for glamorous vagabond?
Glamavond. No, there isn't. No, there isn't.
It'd be like a high-end stick with a Gucci bag on the end of it.
Yeah, no, I'm not into the designer stuff though, like that. If somebody wants me to wear their name, they need to pay me because not for me. Although some designer things are very beautifully made, like not designer, but things that are designed, like beautiful buildings, cars. We all can agree, even if we're not into materialism, that the structures that humans can build, or even small things like a lamp, can be very, very beautiful and artistic, and it can be a great expression of somebody's art and who they are. Or it can be just something to show off and keep up with the Joneses, and I'm not down with that. So Joe Singh says, hi, Patricia and Mark.
Hey.
Ute Hube says, hey, Patricia. It's Eric Dubay doing Mark Sargent. Just from one of those. You know how Eric did the video of Flat Earth and Other Show Potatoes Part 1 and Part 2, and how he says, hey, Patricia. But he's doing you. So Ute Hugh was bringing that to mind.
I'm not easily imitated, I don't think. I don't have a lot of...
You don't, I don't think. I don't think you do either.
If I came up with some weird hook, something in my speech pattern, maybe, but I'm pretty generic.
Yeah. You're not generic. Far from
well, you know what I mean. I don't, there's nothing, Saturday Night Live would have a hard time spoofing me, I think.
They always find a way. And what they do, if they can't find anything in your particular way of speaking, they just put on your clothing that you wear and glasses and say weird stuff in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, they go a different direction. Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Isa Mahalski is in the chat, and so is Quaalude Charlie. Fred Caldwell says, jukeboxes. Yeah, my jukebox is supposedly on that ship that's arriving at my house the 3rd of January. Let's hope it's all in one piece. Vintage Wurlitzer in my dad's radio station. And it was in perfect working order when I took off. Let's hope it still is.
We'll see.
Awakened Mind says Saturday Night Live is pathetic now. Remember watching Saturday Night Live, staying up late, and how exciting and fun that was?
Oh yeah, but well, look, the show's still going, so you got to give them credit for that. Yeah, it never ended. Plus, how many stars were launched from that place in the 70s, 80s, and 90s? Huge. Huge stars were launched from that. So yes. I'm not gonna give them too much crap. I remember the day, I'm old enough to remember when they were, so cutting edge that everyone stayed up late for it.
Two wild and crazy guys.
God, yeah. The fact that Steve Martin was considered, people thought he was a cast member, and he wasn't. He was just a guest star that just kept showing up.
There's Persian Scribe who says he missed the whole show. No, you did not. Sharon Ellis says that she watched Benny Hill and Mr. Bill. Benny Hill as a show itself, I used to watch when I was in high school in Michigan. There was this special access channel that would play UK comedies. I would watch Benny Hill and Fawlty Towers and kind of fell in love with all UK things, which maybe I shouldn't have watched those things. I should have stuck with Charlie's Angels. My life would have been incomplete lately. Anyway, let's see. P. Myres says Saturday Night Live is a hotbed for Satanism. I don't know. I don't know. But Brad Ballgood says, kind of echoing that by saying Saturday Night Live has always been propaganda. Watch the old ones with new eyes. You know what? Probably true. Completely true.
Could be. I think it's very interesting, though, that Saturday Night Live is attacking Trump now, not to get into too much in politics, even before he's inaugurated. I don't think I've ever seen that before, where you're going after a guy. He hasn't even been sworn in yet, and you've got
he's a reality show host, so he's always been up as fair game for attack already. So maybe that could be the reason they're
That's probably it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, Mr. Bill, mentions of Mr. Bill. Oh no, Mr. Bill. That's something that used to make me laugh so hard with my sister and brother till I cried. Now, if I watch it, I'm like kind of dumb. And it's not because I grew up. It's your humor sometimes tends to shift and go with times.
Oh yeah.
Mr.
I mean,
Bill's pretty funny.
Eddie Murphy doing a street version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood, which was like a really big thing at the time.
Awakened Mind also says that Saturday Night Live now spews propaganda. Ben Matrix Decode is in here, as is Orbic Fudpucker, who says, hello, everyone. What else is going on in here? Sharon Ellis also had mentioned Mr. Bill. You know, Randolph Kane brings up a good point. There are many people who are no longer with us that were part of the Saturday Night Live crew. Yep. And also recently we've had a couple of celeb deaths. George Michael at 53, same age as myself. And I think heart failure was the reason. I know he supposedly had a cocaine problem earlier in his life. Christmas morning, something like that, he was found dead. Yeah. And let us not forget Princess Leia has died.
Carrie Fisher. Yep. Yes. Or, and Saturday Night Live reference, if you believe in degrees of separation, Gene Wilder, who was earlier this year, who was married to
Gilda Radner.
Radner, Saturday Night Live star who died early at age of cancer. I'm sorry, just cancer, not age of cancer.
Timea says everything spews propaganda. And you know what? Pretty right about that one. Yep. David Blackson says, we had a jukebox in our living room when I was a kid. Wow, this is deep, but I'll read it anyway. My dog got ran over in the street, and when I came in the house, the song Sad Eyes was playing. Oh, it's so sad.
That is sad.
All right. It's Flat says, speaking of sad things, death comes in threes. And I was thinking about that. Carrie Fisher, George Michael, and I hate to say who's next, but.
Yeah, who would be the third one? I mean, the list that I saw this year when they do, the Academy Awards does it, and of course they won't include, for example, because they weren't film guys, Prince, David Bowie.
Yes.
But there was a whole
film guy. I mean, he had Under the Cherry Moon, and he had.
They will include Prince. They will, right. because he did 2 movies, but. At the same time, why wouldn't you include? But like George Michael, they won't because he wasn't in anything.
A lot of videos.
David Bowie, would they do it because he had a cameo appearance in Zoolander?
No, he was in other things as well. The Man Who Fell to Earth.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait. And he was in. You're absolutely right. And he was in an '80s film.
He was in The Hunger.
And there was something else. Was he in one with Jennifer Connelly where he played sort of like a demonic prince?
Yeah, I can think of another one that he was into.
Yeah, you're right. So David Bowie probably will be honored. You're absolutely right.
So, well, the whole deaths come in threes thing. I mean, sad. Yeah. But let's hope. Flat Earth Math says David Bowie wasn't a ton of movies. Let's see. Sorry. Joan Rivers' death suspicious, Awakened Mind says. Yeah, indeed. Because she said that Michelle Obama was not a woman, basically, and then died doing a plastic surgery operation.
Oh, yeah. No, that was... It wasn't a suspicious death as much as... I mean, I looked at it from look, she didn't take it back. She didn't backpedal. That was the difference. Right. No, normally comedians will do tongue-in-cheek jokes.
Smile or wink. She didn't. She just turned and walked up the stairs.
She turned and walked up into the hospital, dead. But the thing was, she came back to finish that joke,
yes.
To finish it.
And matter-of-factly said it.
Yeah, it's like knows. We all, like Hollywood, everyone in Hollywood knows. It's no big deal. And it's like, okay. And if you're the powers that be, not to end on a dark note, because we still got time. But look, that question, once she said that, once she was on air, because social media, it circulates so quickly, that she was going to get asked about that pretty much forever at that point. And it's like, nope, she's not.
But I mean, she did have a lot of procedures, and she was getting older, and anesthesia, you can die easily. And especially if you're older. So, you have to look at it that way. But, people are already saying that Donald Trump's wife, Melania, is a man. So, everybody's a man on some channels.
Yeah, well, okay. Take a look at her early model shots. Those women get found out very, very quickly. There was one very, very popular model in the 80s that did some videos, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head. You know which one I'm probably talking about, though. And once she was found out, that was it.
Right.
In her case, Ivana, is that her name?
No, that was one of his wives, Ivanka Trump.
Ivanka.
Ivana is his daughter, but no, Melania.
Melania.
I think she's a woman. I mean,
yeah, I do too.
A beautiful woman, in that sort of glamour way. All sorts of different kinds of beauty on flat Earth. Martin Liedtke says, I can't watch Lassie. Lassie as well. I agree with you, because anytime any movie where a dog or a pet of any sort dies, I always say to myself, that was not essential to the plot. Okay, it's a fantasy, it's a movie, but to me, it's like it bums me out for the whole movie. No need for the animal to die. Sorry, just no.
With the exception of Old Yeller.
Or Cujo.
Cujo. Really? You're gonna bring that Stephen King thing in? That movie scared the hell out of me when I was younger.
Cujo needed to be put down at that point. But I grew up with a Saint Bernard dog. So Cujo in general, it was like, no, don't kill Hugo. That was the name of our dog.
Nice.
Funny. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, Bob from Glowbusters is mentioning Megan Fox, and Megan Fox is also, people say that she is a man too. So
Megan Fox.
No, she's not. She's very beautiful. She's kind of like, she's just a beautiful woman. Why can't people just be a beautiful woman, or a handsome man, or a talented individual, or a nice person, without the conspiracy world going, no, they have an evil intent, they're horrible?
You know this as well as anybody. We tear down. It's King of the Hill all over again. Whoever's up there, you're coming down by any means necessary. And if sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. And but Megan Fox, she got smacked a different way. She had that little side comment where she was talking about her director, the guy that directed, was it Bruckheimer?
Yeah, Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yeah, the Transformers movies, where said working with him was like working for a Nazi. Not the best move in the world to make in Hollywood, to say that publicly.
Right.
And she got taken down a few pegs.
Yeah. So. Nexus Ninja says Lady Gaga could be I think inferring that perhaps Lady Gaga is a man.
No, she's just not. She is not super pretty.
Well, she is pretty, but she doesn't have those classic looks.
No, she doesn't she the tools you have to work with. She got super ripped, super fit. She knows how to work makeup, and she does look. I mean, what was her big opus song? Born This Way. I mean, you watch her in that. She's excellent in that. But is she supermodel quality? No.
And she's not. It's not a singer I particularly like, but these people have talent, and I think it's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Spectacles is here. Hello. YouTube says Bowie probably hasn't broken any laws in faking his own death, though. It's funny. Is there a case against? I mean, faking your own death, is it illegal? I guess it would be if you're doing anything involving taxes and money.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well.
Or faking your own death to collect your own insurance money.
Yeah, that's true. And then moving off world, across the plane somewhere.
But if that was the case, people, and I don't want to diminish this. People will say, well, is it possible that the rich are going to other places outside of here? Well, it's not a bad idea. But if that was the case, you'd have a massive fake fake death scenario,
Right.
or you'd have like a super yacht with like 8 or 10 really important people. They'd all go down at the same time. People would go like, boo hoo. But that never happens. How
Yeah.
many
And
people?
who wants to fake their own death when they're not at the prime of life? Why do you fake your own death? I mean, yes, you can be very fit and active and full of vim and vigor and still attractive when you're 80. But if you're faking your own death when you're, 75 or 80, or whatever the age is, 65 even, you don't
Yeah.
have as much time to spend, unless there's some way to prolong your life that we don't know
Yeah.
about. Wouldn't you be faking your death at the height of your peak of your strength and beauty and that at like
Well, and
25?
even if there was like a regeneration process, like that movie with Jodie Foster and Matt Damon, uh, can't remember the name of it. Chat room, help me out here. Where they had those machines that could heal you. Even if that was possible, you would see the ultra rich dying in higher numbers. In fact, it's just the opposite. The ultra rich live longer. The royals have lived.
Yes.
All live into their frickin' 90s.
Even after many different transplants of organs, they're like, oh, I'm still here. The
Yeah.
Queen, of course, came out with another message this year. So hello to Ginger Sugar Bush. And let's see what else is going on. Richard Clark is in the chat. So hello, Richard. Mark Taylor as well. And let's see, there was a good question here. Oh, Lady G. Lady Ganja, saying that she is friends with Marina Abramovich. I know I'm saying it wrong, but I think that's the spirit cooking woman, and that makes her suspect in Awaken Mind's Eyes.
Oh, right. I remember that video. Somebody
Yeah.
sent me that.
And it's true here what Tamia says. Everyone can't be faking their deaths. Some people just die.
Yeah.
But then when you look at David Bowie and his last videos, even his entire last album, some of the images in the videos seem to foreshadow his death. But then again, supposedly he was diagnosed with a terminal disease. So if you knew you were and it was out that you were, then you might do little things in your videos to show people that, yes, I am going away soon.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Gene Wilder didn't tell anybody that he was having complications with Alzheimer's. Because he didn't want to make people sad ahead of time. And I thought that was really a nice technique.
What about some predictions, aside from the ones that didn't come true last year, that we're going to move to 2017? What do we have that we can just come up with off the top of our hat? In your case,
I think that 2017 is going to be the big weird year for Flat Earth. Something is going to break open. It's just too much. There's too much traction. I mean, the stuff that you and I have been dealing with, there's people, and I hate to say this for the reason it's happening, there's too much potential for greedy people to make money.
Do you think that documentary that you and I've been talked to about and asked if we wanted to be on it is ever going to happen?
I do because we've microscoped just about every other topic in media you can think of. That we joked about every other show. There's ridiculous amounts of shows out there. The media that we know, that we grew up with, has fragmented and splintered into so many things now that there's channels dedicated for stuff that we never ever were going to watch. And you wonder when you look at these channels, you're going, how much of a demographic could there be? Is anyone making any money on this stuff at all? So, and Hollywood and the entertainment industry is really good about leaving no stone unturned. There's only one stone left. This is it. And that's where I think they're going to go with it. I think, yes, the documentary has to be made because there's too much potential. The fear that people, that some networks have out there, they don't know, kind of like the Alex Jones thing, where Alex Jones will not do a Flat Earth show because he's afraid of losing viewers. Yes. He's losing subscribers. That's the same thing with the producers. No producer wants to be the first one on the dance floor to say, this is actually a real thing because they're afraid of getting laughed at.
Well, what also as well, it would be on a channel or something, that has supposed satellites that are beaming the broadcast to people's living rooms. And there we are, if we were ever in a documentary, saying there's no satellites. It's almost like we wouldn't be allowed to say what we really felt.
There is the potential for that, yes.
But you know what? I know if somebody, I mean, we've already been interviewed for a documentary a couple of times by different people.
Yeah.
It never really went any farther, but I know you and I are on board with the fact that we would have to have full control over whatever it was.
Oh yeah, you can't all of a sudden put us on there like a circus sideshow.
No.
And say, you know,
the
look,
man wearing the gold hat and the woman
that's
wearing
the man wearing the gold hat. He's obviously
jacket.
insane. You know, let's all laugh at him. You know, where the scientists off air, you know, where they edit it a certain way and just make us look ridiculous.
Right.
But
we'd have to have scientists, we'd have to have engineers, we'd have to have many people that were involved with the documentary, which is what we would be pressing for if it ever does get made. We don't know if it ever will, but maybe that'll happen in 2017.
I can't see how it would not. We're too close now. We've had too many nibbles now, and the numbers are getting ridiculous to where somebody's going to pull the trigger because they can't afford not to. Somebody is like, look, you know, someone is like, maybe their reputation as a producer has kind of been flagging lately. They got nothing to lose. They got nothing to lose. Like, you know what? Why not? Why the hell not? And then because they'd be stupid not to. And this is me pitching them, whoever's listening out there, which is because of the not because of the popularity, but because of the polarization, where you go in the comment section and kind of like when the that Eminem produced show interviewed me, and then afterwards the producer was so happy because there were callers that have never called in before that were just so worked up over it. And that is flat earth. Love it or hate it, you cannot ignore it. It will generate emotions in you one way or another. You either are going to come out against the flat earthers and think they are the worst, most ignorant people on the world, or you're going to have the diehard flat earthers, which are so enthusiastic, you know, that stand their ground against anybody, which I love. They do not back down because you can't. You can't back down from the truth.
Sorry.
You can't. You find me a flat earther that was sitting in front of a globalist, and the globalist finally said, you know, and the guy goes, oh, you know what? You're right. It's a globe again. And then he walks off. It's never, ever going to happen.
Yeah. Nothing's ever going to make what we live on into a globe.
No, it's, and I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for rocky roads ahead.
I know that some people treat it kind of like Cypher from the Matrix, where he goes, where he was bargaining with Agent Smith, saying, all right, I want to get put back into the Matrix and I don't want to remember anything. You hear me? Nothing. Because it rocked him so much. It's like, I don't even want to have a glimpse that the Matrix existed. I want to just be oblivious to everything. Unfortunately, we don't have that ability to do that to people. So anyone that goes flat, they're flat. And again, the polarization, the comments, the sheer fights that break out in the comments section, that should be a producer's wet dream, because they live for that. They live for the controversy. Look at all the shows that are out there just to get people worked up, where they have to build in plot lines. They have to build in the drama. There's no build. The drama's already built into this thing. It's a no-brainer. The script writes itself. But
and there is no script, by the way, in case anybody wants to take that.
No, you know what I mean, though. I mean, if you want to turn this into something, you would not have to sit down with a whole bunch of writers and create plot lines. The plot lines are already there.
Yeah, just go interview various flat earthers and do experiments and talk to scientists and surveyors and on and on and on and on. Like, just follow people around while this is happening and put something together that everybody on board, everybody would agree was good quality material to get it
Agreed.
Out to the public.
Agreed. If that does not happen, though, if what we're talking about doesn't pan out, the alternative is much weirder, because then you're talking about, you know, because if the government, you know, if you do, here's where it gets kind of dicey. If you do allow a show like that to be created, whether it's a documentary or a reality show or a fictionalized movie, that the very presence of it allows mainstream media to then start asking questions. Questions outside of the show. Well, what if it was real? Well, hey, what about this space program thing? Hey, SpaceX, what have you been doing over there? And all of a sudden, you know, it gives them license to do stuff. And if you don't want that to happen, the only other alternative is, of course, to let the weird stuff in, which is it gets weird. You know, there's only one thing that can let the space agencies and the governments and the authority and the powers that be off the hook, and that is another civilization.
Yeah, aliens.
So call them what you want. First one that shows up wins. I don't care what kind of ship it is, although it should be shiny and they got to look somewhat human. Can't be green, can't be red, can't be any of the colors we have now. It's got to be blue or silver or gold. Got to be one of those and they've got to be somewhat attractive. You can't do a Star Trek, Star Wars, alien grossness. Can't be anything like that. They've got to be, I hate to say it, they got to be better than us. And then it gets weird.
They have to be like the females must look like 7 of 9.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could have some prosthetics. Yeah, you could pull that off.
Those weren't prosthetics.
Well, you know, the weird, the weird things in her face, but yeah. But yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I'd love to see this thing move to the next level in mainstream media. I really, really would, but I know the backlash from it is potentially uncontrollable. If you're right now, the mainstream media is not covering it because nobody's gone onto the dance floor. You have any network create a reality show, everyone will cover it. You thought there were, you remember when every periodical covered the B.O.B. Neil deGrasse Tyson thing, and that was just a couple songs, right? If there was a television show, I don't care what network, Nat Geo or Discovery, History Channel, I don't care who runs it. They will be descended on and analyzed because, and you know the jokes that'll come. It's like, will flat Earth fall flat? There's so many different things you could do with it and criticize it, but when you do, you're talking about it. I don't know.
True.
Anyway.
And once people look into it, they won't be able to look away.
No one can look away. Once you look in the box.
Yes.
Once you look in the box, you're screwed. You can't not see what was in the box.
And not even really screwed. I think you just feel good.
Yeah.
Because you know, finally.
Well,
you don't know exactly the shape of where we are. You do know it's not what they've told us. You know you've been lied to, and that shouldn't make you feel good, but it makes you feel good in a way because you're free of the lie. But then you can work toward figuring out what it is.
Yeah, you still go through that process though, and you lose that. You've heard all the stories. You lose sleep, a lot of sleep.
Yes.
You're watching videos pretty much nonstop. You call in sick for work. You don't talk to your spouse. It's like, yeah, don't bother me. Watching something, and you're sitting there and your mind is just flipping over and you don't know what to do. But at the end, once you get on the outside, there is a calm to it. There is this wonderful peace where you're going, I get it now. And then you start backtracking. It's like, right. And all those other things I was looking at, I get those now too. Holy smokes. Then you're especially that part where you're re-examining all the other stories, which you may or may not have believed in. Now you have to re-look at all of them. And then you want to tell people, and then you tell the wrong people. How many times do we hear that?
Friends? No, that doesn't happen.
Yeah, let's go to the family dinner. You sit down after your 100th video. It's like you sit down at the family table and go, you know what? Kids, the earth is flat. And then all of a sudden you're Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You're immediately
exactly. But in the end, he was right.
In the end, he was right.
Yes. Well, we've come to the end of our show. And I appreciate it's not technically another year with you, Mark, but we'll say it is. I found out about you in 2015 and we went through 2016 together. And now we're moving into 2017. And I feel that same way about all the people I've met, or most all of the people I've met in Flat Earth. We are on this journey together. We don't know where it's going to end. We just know that it's very exciting and eye-opening and it's enriched my life. And I want to thank everybody who's part of it with me.
Agreed. I'm going to be, in fact, the next week, I'm going to be revamping my YouTube stuff, my intros. I'm going to be kind of creating a more organized, unified front feel to it. Right. And changing the avatar and getting ready for it. Again, 2016 was our first big full year of flat Earth, and now 2017, there are no limits.
That's right. There are no limits. And I'm going to be taking a break from YouTube as I get my house together, but I'll be back popping in now and then. And I won't be taking a break for months or anything, just a couple of weeks. Anyway, my noisemaker for New Year's Eve will sign us out as my cats run away. Happy 2017 to everyone. And like we always say, Mark, at the end of The Secret Show, keep it
George Clooney.
flat.